Yes, we know the mic is muted. We're still setting up. We're just about to kick off Freedom Planet. Just making sure controls and everything are as expected. Seems good, so we'll kick off in just a second. Just a reminder, if you are donating, we also have an incentive for Super Metroid tomorrow, which is to kill or save the animals as you do. So if you have a preference on that and you are donating anyways, please choose one of those sides and we will get that allotted. Currently, the numbers are $725.62 for killing the animals, $561.38 for saving the animals. So at this rate, animals are ripped in peace. So with that, I'm going to hand you over to Nega6, who is going to guide us through a playthrough of Freedom Planet. Enjoy.
Right. So this is Freedom Planet. It's a little 2D Sonic game. How do I start the timer? Okay. So it's a little bit like old school Sonic, just 2D platformer, very fast paced. So there's a very few like technical things that I do right in the beginning here that are gonna recur throughout the entire run. Right away, when I cyclone up into the air, like when I spin around like that, I attack afterwards because that gives me my energy back, so that I can immediately boost after if I need to, or cyclone again if I need to, right after that. And also, jumping into the air and then like kicking down onto a slope will pretty much immediately give you maximum speed, so that you build up momentum right away. This is the first sort of mid-boss, and since I picked up that little, invincibility thing there, I can just stay inside it and kick it for days. There's a lot of things in this game that never recur. Like, there's enemies that are only in a single stage, or these little, like, gas geyser things. This is the only stage that they're in. So right here they give you a little sneak preview of the final boss for this stage. You only have to do like one cycle of what he has in the end, but he still ends up being like really annoying just because you don't know where he's gonna pop up all of the time, and you have to hit each of those individual circles a couple of times to make them pop before you can hit him in the face and tell him to get out of there. There's a few zips that you use to just like clip through the stage and skip parts of areas, but other than that and getting the energy back by kicking when you boost, there's nothing really too notable. And I just run away. Also, when you get knocked up into the air by something like a one of those gas geysers, when you can spam A to do the cyclone move, and that'll drastically increase your height off of that. So in that area when I was coming out of the water, normally you wouldn't be able to like launch up into the air like that, but I was spamming A, so I just like flew up and over. And that's a big deal right here, because I could just skip like a huge area down there and just get up and end the screen. So this, no matter like, knowing where to go is the easy part, because most of it's just hold right. But if you get hit at any point and just lose your momentum, that can cost you like 30 seconds every time you get hit. And that oh, someone's so like that's not a big problem in these lower like level stages when there's like not many enemies around. But later on, when there's like 30 enemies on screen at a time and you have to run past them all without getting hit, it's terrible. There's 12 full bosses. And I think somewhere around like 15 mid-bosses.
Wow.
And you can only skip one of the bosses. Yeah. You can't skip any final bosses because their death is what triggers the end of the level. Gonna go ahead and give a shout out to my parents who are watching this right now, and a couple of my buddies from school. So this is the first cool thing you do in the game, really. So up above there, I could have chosen to go like down or up because there's a locked door that has like a purple lock and a yellow lock, and you go yellow first for reasons you'll see shortly. Oh god, I forgot to spin that around. But on the stairs there, you can skip like the whole right side of this area just by like jumping down under the stairs before they close off, and we're about to use that to skip pretty much the entire purple area because both the yellow and the purple areas are loaded right now. So what we can do, if I can time it correctly, is just zip up, and now we're like right near where the other, like where the boss is, the mid-boss is. So we have to jump down to trigger his spawn, because coming from that side doesn't trigger his spawn. And, whoa. Oh, that's not good. We're gonna have to fight him normally. That bat, you like managed to follow me all the way from the bottom area up here. And I decided to try and deal with him rather than just kill the mid-boss. So, no. I've never seen that before.
The little gems you collect, do they have any significance in the speedrun?
Not in the speedrun, but as a mechanic in the game, every time you collect 200, you get a bonus life. And also, they restore energy as you pick them up. So if you have energy missing from your bar, it'll fill up faster if you're picking up gems. So the mid-boss coming up here is probably the hardest one in the game, because what we get to do here is walk down here and skip him entirely, and that's the only boss that we can skip in the entire game. No, there's like 3 active runners who are all way better than me. And other than that, like, not many people even know this game exists. So it's been gaining popularity recently, especially since like big YouTubers like NerdCubed have put videos up of it. But they're still not like, the people who are watching them aren't necessarily the people who are interested in speedruns. So the speedrunning community for this is still like tiny. Yeah, this was a Kickstarter project that a couple of people put together because they were like, hey, we really liked Sonic as a kid, Sonic is terrible now. So we want to make a Sonic game, or a Sonic-like game that people can actually like enjoy. That's not terrible. So they met their Kickstarter goal and made this game. No, I didn't even know about the Kickstarter till afterwards. I found this game through Miss Anthrope's channel, who is another streamer, and she was just playing this casually one night, and I walked in and I was like, oh man, I have to have this game. Like, I played so much of Sonic 1 and 3 on the Sega Genesis as a kid that I saw this and I was like, it was a match made in heaven. I didn't own to. So in this area I have to go back, I have to go into 2 different areas and hold down switches to unlock the final boss. And they each have like a different little thing to try and slow you down. That one was just like a spike floor, and this one's just like a super easy mini boss. So what I'm gonna do here for swag strats is have the boss kill himself by standing on his back, and then when he attacks you, he damages himself. So now we are clear to go on to the final boss for this stage, but I'm just going to go ahead and pick up health so then hopefully only have to do this once, because this is one of the more frustrating bosses in the game. There is a glitch that we use to fight him, but it's not 100%, and if he uses a certain attack, you might as well not even do it. So each cycle that I do this, he gains more health on his arms. And what I was trying to do there, you stand on the eyeball, presumably of like his brother robot or something. And when he spawns in, you boost to the side of the screen, and as long as you're dealing damage to him, you'll stay boosted in the side of the screen. So here I instantly killed off both arms without him being able to get off a single attack. And that's the entire cycle done. You start off and you're just, as Lilac, which is the character I'm playing now. There's 2 other characters that you can play in Classic and one other that you can play in Adventure. So the other 2 characters are Carol, who's Lilac's cat friend, and Mila, who's this weird, like, dog, floppy-eared alien thing that is, like, following you around for the first stage. And you pick up on this alien plot to like steal all the energy from the world, and you start out you're chasing the guy down. That's what the Chaos Emerald looking thing was. That was like some energy gem, and you go try to convince like the Grand Magister or whatever his name is that like, hey, there's this big bad alien dude like messing things up. We need to do something about it. And he's like, actually, I think you're the cause of all this. So he ends up trying to arrest you, and he sends like his people after you, but you get broken out of jail, and you end up being able to prove to him that there's like some super evil plot going on that's like not actually your fault. And at the end, you just like go on to the big bad guy's big bad ship and teach him a lesson. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, I selected classic mode, but in adventure mode, you get all the cutscenes. That's the only difference between them. And you can't play as Mila in adventure mode, but you can play as her in classic mode. They have some different stages, and they play like the 3 major characters from the Sonic series. You have Lilac, who I'm playing now, which is the fastest speedrun, who is like Sonic, obviously. And then you have Carol is like Knuckles, and then Mila is like Tails. You're not wrong. I think last year, like early last year. It might have been earlier though. I found it, I think, in August. The world record in-game is like 40 minutes, and the next run behind that is 50, and then the next run behind that is 1 hour and 10 minutes. Like, some people just are crazy at this game. It also has a fantastic soundtrack. Those little cone sphincter things that shoot fireworks up only appear in this level. Later there's like a bullet hell level for some reason. Like there's a whole lot of stuff that only gets used once. So this is the first semi-difficult mid-boss. But my favorite thing to do is you can boost into him at some points, and he'll just clip into the side of that ramp. It doesn't do anything, it doesn't make the boss fight easier or harder. It's just funny to see him like chilling out in the middle of the wall. The main thing to watch out for with this guy is when he does that attack where he shoots like a bunch of bullets up into the air, that you don't jump over him, because you'll get hit by all of that, and that's like game over. He's tired of my kung fu tricks. So welcome to the mall. Now there's going to be a lot of those zipline things popping up, also only in this stage. Yeah, this is $15 on Steam, and it goes on sale a ton. So what I was trying to do there, I used the trick where when I get launched up into the air, I mash A so I gain crazy height to grab onto a ladder and skip like an annoying jumping sequence. And I missed it, but I still like was able to skip half of the jumping sequence. So, usually you try to skip that second, like, elevator twisty thing, because then you can just jump over and be right here right away. It doesn't save a massive amount of time, but it's also really hard to pull off because you have a very small window to jump in to get over it, because you build up so much momentum going into the first one. Second mid-boss done. Lazy route. You can also just like walk up that wall and it does the same thing. If I had energy to boost at the end of the boss fight, I would have just gone up the wall because that would have been much faster, but since I was walking out, it didn't make a difference. This is the first boss where they recognize, wow, we're giving them a pretty difficult boss if they're a casual player. So every like 10 seconds, the plane in the background swings around and drops down a pack of health for you. Yeah, Tails is the one dropping the health. And the green dude in there is Torque, and you can't play as Torque. And he's just an alien turtle thing. Like, he's an alien that looks just like a green human, but the way he covers with this weird planet is he says he's like a humanoid turtle. And everyone's like, alright, yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully. You can also do the glitch where you boost into the wall and get stuck doing damage on this boss, but the window is so much shorter because he tries to shift to where you are, based on like if I'm on the right side of the screen, he'll try to move into like the center of the screen, so when I try to get over to the left side of the screen to boost into him, he moves off the screen, so I can't do the boost thing. 12, and the last 4 are like one stage, but it's like multiple parts. Like instead of just saying like this is now stage 11, it'll say this is stage 9-3. But it's stage. So this stage, you're on your ship and you're being attacked by like evil dude's ship, and you have to go to like 3 different smaller ships, and then after you beat the mid-boss on each of the 3 smaller ships, you come back and you fight the final boss on your ship. You can skip having to run down there by kicking down to the right and hitting that pad, and then you have to immediately spam the jump button so that you get a boost from the fans upwards. Not really. I'm most comfortable with the first and second stages, but this stage I really like the concept of it, plus usually I can get a quick kill on this boss. I kind of messed it up by running up the wall, but I still did it in less than 1 cycle. My favorite part about this stage is just the fact that like it took me 40 minutes the first time I played it, and then once you know like the gimmick behind all the bosses, it just becomes so easy. That's a hard boost to hit because right where you have to boost, you can't see the area that you have to boost into. So instead of wasting my time on that, I'm just going to climb back up here and waste like 15 seconds or so. And then we just go through. Oh my god. Okay. We're going to waste another 15 seconds. Why can't I get in there? There we go. Okay. So in the top left you have the leaves are like my health, and then the blue bar is my energy. and pretty much anything that's not a basic jump or a basic attack uses up the energy bar, which is why it's really important to know how to cancel your special jump to regain that energy so that you can keep doing things like down kicks over and over again. There's absolutely no reason to hit that helicopter as far as I know. Except to be like, why you bring me an enemy? This guy is just extremely annoying to hit because all he does is dash around and avoid your attacks. And he never goes the direction that you think he's gonna go. The AI is too good for me. Come on. Oh. I beat that on 0 health. So when I come up to these cannons, usually you have to kill 2 cannons and then wait for Torque to show up with the plane to take you back. Or you can just boost off the edge and spawn back on the ship. Yeah, I have no idea where they got the idea for springs. Very original. Earlier, me and Bubbles were trying to see if we could find like a out-of-bounds zip on those like purple gems that were going up and down, but they were too steeply slanted to be able to realistically squeeze you out of the map. Because as in any good 2D platformer, you should be able to get sandwiched out of the map. The closest you're gonna get is the one that we just did with the mall. Yes! Obviously I skipped that because it takes time, but you just jump up onto a lever and it plays the slots and you can get like health and energy back. Yes, but you can only do it once per slot machine. I think there's 4 or 5 in the whole stage. A couple of them are like harder to find than others. So this guy is not very intimidating at all. He just runs away and you boost up and hit him. And then that's the final mid-boss done. So we just heal up, get our extra life, and we're ready to fight the final boss. That was the final mid-boss for this stage. Yeah. A lot of, like, they do a lot of mechs in this. Like, this is like a mecha flamingo. Or mecha peacock, sorry. With like the actual boss himself recurs. So we'll see this guy later riding something different. But like each fight is completely unique for who you're fighting. So on the 3rd cycle, he always starts with that that attack with like golden laser beams, which is the first time you're ever able to see it in this fight. And that can be extremely annoying your first time through, because if you try to go into one of the smaller crevices, like smaller splits between the lasers, the camera shakes when they actually fire, and you'll get hit if you're too close. And if you're in one of the smaller crevices, you're always too close. And it's not one flat damage, it's damage over time, so you get stuck in it. And it can easily do a quarter to half your health just by the camera shaking. It's flawless execution of the things I do all right. Like, also late game, is really finicky for me. Like, I suck at running past hordes of enemies, and they just fling past no problem without getting hit. So like each hit for me is another 30 seconds. For them,
There's
that's
that much of a time difference. It's gotta be.
yeah,
That's how it's
yeah, yeah. Because you lose your momentum, and especially if you don't have like a boost ready, then there's no way to get that momentum back right away. 30 seconds is an extreme case, but you're gonna at least lose like 5. Like best case, like you're standing on a ledge and you can kick down. This is by far my least favorite stage. It sucks in every way imaginable. It does look pretty. The mid-boss is more likely to kill me than the final boss. And it probably will kill me at least twice. This stage gets... I like this stage in the second half, but the first half is just a lot of annoying, like, those green frog dudes spitting things at you right where you want to be running. Like on that golden spring, all I wanted to do was walk past him and boost up the golden spring. But no, there had to be a green frog dude there. Wow, that's bad. Like the 40-minute run probably knows a way to boost up and skip those platforms that I was aiming for and missing. I wish. Oh man. That's a dream right there. Bubbles only in this stage. Or in the backroom practicing portal. Get it? Because there's a guy named Bubbles. Yes. Oh, yeah. So, like, you have a pretty decent amount of time underwater. But you... Like, it starts a ticking clock that's, like, very muted in the background when you start running out of oxygen. So it just, like, even if you know you're gonna make it, you just feel very, like, rushed and panicky because it's like, tick-tock, you're running out of time. There's a skip that I just chose not to do there because I would end up spending 10 minutes trying to save 10 seconds. But there was a spring like near the ceiling, and if you cyclone off of it at just the right angle, you can float up and skip the entire like left and right section that I just did. So we're getting close to the mid-boss, who rides in on that little ship thing, little boat that launches like crystals at us. And yeah, the police boat, because she's trying to bring us back to the Grand Magister for our non-crimes.
And then you're
well, step 1 was, God, what was step 1? Being born, I guess. So we're in the mid-boss right now, but there was a checkpoint not long ago, and I had 0 health going in, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take the death and spawn like 30 seconds away, if that. Like, we just jump over these 2 people, and then the police boat shows up right here. So it wasn't major time lost, and now I'm going into one of the harder mid-bosses with full health. Okay, that's really good. You can hit that boost and avoid her entire first cycle and she won't have. She generates a shield at the beginning of each cycle, which makes this boss fight especially annoying. So hitting that boost skips a cycle, which means that you have more time to damage her before she can't be hit. And that's that mid-boss done. So, obviously, when chasing a little dragon girl who's like 13 years old in the story or something like that, bring a giant submarine with missiles. Obviously.
Does the water ever become a key mechanic as far as like watching your breath and stuff? Like, go so fast?
Breath becomes a matter later on, but this is the last time we really deal with water in a big way. And you have such a huge oxygen bar underwater that it doesn't matter. Like, if you were, when you're first playing the game and you're trying to explore underwater a lot, it's certainly an issue, but in the speedrun, you're just going over top of the water most of the time anyway. Not yet. She is her own waifu. Lilac. There's Lilac, Carol, and Mila. Everybody's favorite, like, personality-wise is Mila, but Lilac is by far the most played just because she's the fastest. Carol does the most damage. But getting through the stages fast becomes a problem for her because she doesn't have a boost or anything like that. So it's just kind of, it's a more, the bosses end up being easier, but the spaces in between end up being harder on Carol. Until you get to the end and you can just like not care about anybody. So I'm gonna try to keep my shield here as long as possible, hopefully at least through this guy. Our second time fighting him. And because he gets fed up with our kung fu tricks again, and he gets in a giant ship and starts spawning guys. But we need as much health as possible to skip his, or ignore his first cycle of spawning enemies, because then Mila shows up and starts taking care of the enemies for us. So right here you normally have to like kill these aliens who are spawning out of the bottom of the ship. But instead we just boost up the wall and hit him a few times and he'll come down and start doing his attack cycle. Mila gets his health, Mila shows up, starts fighting aliens. And we're already almost done with this boss fight. If you do it normally, it's a 3-cycle boss fight, so 2 is perfect for this. No. No, there's no upgrades or anything like that. So that was about as good as that boss fight could have gone. This is the point where the run starts to get a bit iffy for me, but it's already over the halfway point, so... taking a lot of unnecessary damage here for like no reason except for the fact that my execution's terrible right now.
Are there any other, is there any other content with these characters, like, comic books or cartoons?
Not that I know of, but if anybody does know of it, I would love to see that stuff, because this story is actually pretty interesting. And they got really good voice actors for this. Like, you can tell that there's like emotion in the voice of people when they're upset in the cutscenes.
Yeah, I never played Sonic. What? Sonic community is not
like they tried to go to 3D, and I stood on the flame jet there when I
kind of lost what you think.
There's 3D Sonic just doesn't work. So because when I went to get that shield, there was a shield up there, and I was looking to pick it up. I looked away, and I was standing on a flame jet, and it died. So that's like 30 seconds or so lost there. It's not a huge deal, I just have to fight that mini-boss again.
I can't help but notice a lot of the bosses have the damage.
Yeah. They definitely tried to make it as obvious as possible what you have to attack.
Yeah.
And that makes it accessible to like new players, because they're not just going to run into the boss room and die a million times. And they've designed the bosses to still be difficult when you know where it is. So like, if you like a difficult game, this is still like a challenging thing to do.
Are they all robots?
Robots and aliens. Or aliens in robots, but not the other way around. The world may never know. Fairly soon in this level, there's a part that I find hilarious for no reason. Like, I wouldn't show it to somebody and say this is hilarious. I'm only pointing it out because I shouldn't find it hilarious. But you drop down, and there's like a guy pushing a wall, and all you do is slap him a few times through the wall until he blows up on the button behind him. And that's right here. You're like, oh, what do I do? And he's like, oh, okay. Like, that's your job. Just don't let this dragon lady go any farther than that point. And then you back up into an explosive. I'm gonna go ahead and get this shield just because I took, like, a lot of unnecessary shots not too long ago. It's based on how much physical damage you take. So, like, every time an enemy hits you, like, the timer on your shield goes down. But while you have the shield up, you are immune to physical damage. So...
To unlock this door, stand on the blinking floor panel to your right.
When I come back through, I'll go ahead and do what she told us to do, because it's just really funny. She tells us to go stand on a button to open the door, and it's like the AI of the ship who this entire time has been yelling at us to leave, or she's gonna kill us. So we picked up the key card, and we have to spend time in that room anyway, because these guys in here will follow you down to the final boss of the stage, and if that happens, it's not fun. So you step on that and it blows up, and she just goes, just kidding. So we heal up there, and now that those guys are dead, it's a pretty easy boss to kill. This isn't the final boss of the stage, this is a mid-boss, but there's like no space in between this and the final boss of the stage. The pattern is pretty easy. She takes lava, walks to the other side, shoots it out, walks to the other side, takes it and shoots it on the same side, and then walks back and repeats. Two phase, second phase, you boost into her and she dies. That's how I beat it the first time, and I was like, really? That's the whole second stage? Are you sure? What's Sonic without fast loops? I mean, Freedom Planet, sorry. Shit. You have to load these up. And then boost. Yes. That saves a surprisingly large amount of time. Here. And that's about like half of this area past the mid-boss time. All we gotta do now... yes. They have, like, different sort of themes. So the one that comes from the green crystal is, like, poison-themed. The one from the white crystal is lightning. And I think you can just take, like when you're getting damaged by whichever one they're themed by, your shield will last a little longer if it's from that element. And the red one is fire, but that's intentional. Yeah, the red one is fire, but it also has the perk that if you're standing like on an enemy, it'll deal damage over time to them. It's very minor damage over time, but it's still enough that, like, if you know you're going to go through an area with a lot of enemies, you're going to want to pick that up, because if you can't hit them all, you'll at least be doing damage to them all. The ship is water-cooled, as any good PC is. I'm saying that in my computer, so it's water-cooled. If you go fast enough across that, you can make it without getting hit, but I at least made it far enough that it queued the checkpoint, so that I still save time rather than, like, chilling out and waiting for each consecutive one to go down. This part you have to go each one because they have the conveyor belts on the bottom that stop you from, like, boosting across, plus they're on different, like, levels from each other. Fake auto-scroller again. Right after the enemy on the right, we can boost. Oh, I was a little too late. You could save, like, 2 seconds or something. No idea what that thing's for.
Please remain still during the incineration process. Thank you.
So this is a 3-cycle boss, and we've already finished the first cycle. And you know the final cycle is about to start when, instead of just like those, there was little spike boulders popping up right there, so you have to be at the top of the level. When it's the last one, you have to run around the level because a giant one rolls all the way around the screen and then pops up into the middle. So it makes sure that you, like, aren't staying still during the cycle transitions. Giant boulder, and then we can just come up here and it goes up the middle, and now we're on the final cycle. I love how they do slow motion at the end of every boss by just dropping the frame rate down to like 5, but keeping the audio at the same speed. Bonus stages are good if you're doing a casual run, because you can start a stage with a shield, but it's very upsetting when you get one in a speedrun, because then you have to spend that extra few seconds and extra loading time to walk out of the bonus area without picking up the bonus. And if you dare think about picking up the bonus, it takes forever to, like, it rolls a block around the floor like dice, and then you have a little while. So this stage has another unique gimmick to it with these blue rings. They basically double your energy bar, so I could boost twice there because I had a blue ring going into it, and then I used that up, and then I used up my regular boost after that was used up. So they're just preparing you here, telling you like, hey, look, you can boost up like tall tunnels, wink wink, because if you can't do that 3 times in a row, you can't get into the final boss room.
What are the red gems?
The leaves are my health. Yeah. Pretty soon here the game just starts throwing 1-ups at you, because the game just fills with enemies and hard bosses. So like, if I still game overed, I think like 32 times in my first run or something like that. And now, like, I'm happy to die 5 times in a run. I've only ever managed to 0 death a single time in this game, and I didn't even know it was a 0 death until after. So here they're like, hey, look at all the pretty shields. We take red. The world record speedrun through this area takes just like a couple minutes to do like the entire stage, but it did like 18 pixel perfect boosts in a row. I'll gladly take the slow 3-minute route. Yeah, I can respawn 12 times before I get a game over. No, you just click continue. And it, when you use a continue, instead of spawning at the last checkpoint, you spawn at the beginning of the level. I'm going to try. I don't know how exactly I did it, or anything like that, but, we didn't do it. When I got up there, I had a boost ready, and I used it, and it just launched me and got me stuck inside the wall to my right now, and I zipped up to the top of this ladder that we're about to climb. So it saved like a good minute and a half. Oh wow. I was gonna try to boost and try to like get the blocks to clip me forward a little bit there, but my boost wasn't quite ready. I'm going, that's not the right way at all. I mean, usually you can find more health. The important thing is that you're just near a checkpoint when you die. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a death here because I just got a checkpoint. And I'd rather die now than when I'm halfway across the stage. Except I say it's intentional before I die. This area, absolutely. The wasps can slow you down so much if you don't know like where to go past them. Oh, that's so good. That took me 8 times in practice. Oh, because if you're not boosting like right in the center each time, then you'll just like, you'll end up to the left or right and then fall back down and have to keep boosting again. So before I thought it was just like a percentage of the red balls on his back that are still alive that determine whether or not you can punch him in the eye, which is how you kill him. But it turns out that each of those, each of the orbs on his back accounts for like a certain percentage of damage to his health. And then when you've done a certain percentage of damage, then you can like go for the finishing moves, which is where you hit him in the eyeball. But as it turns out, kicking him in the teeth right there counts as destroying like 3 each time. This boss can be very annoying to finish off, just because you have to like be precise with a moving, wiggling thing that's going faster than you can. Should be getting pretty close here. His eye will flash yellow when you can hit him. Like that. So, okay, we're gonna need one more cycle. But this is the easy cycle. Ha! Get ready for the plot twist of the century. It was a hologram the whole time.
It was a dream! Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Okay, that's way better than what I did in practice. Because I had to go through and get all the achievements because so in the story this is like a twin AI to the green one that we fought in the last stage, and it's like, yeah, this is like some major prophecy, you've gotta stop the big alien guy, I'll help you, and then it turns into this for a few minutes. No, it's still a hologram. Still, Clearly you don't understand how holograms work. It's a magic hologram.
Yeah, I can
Hey, what is wrong with you, eh? For old Sonic. So, in this boss, when I'm using that like laser boost, I'm having to move my character around with the palm of my hand to use my thumb to hit the X button because my other thumb has to be spamming B the whole time. Yeah.
How is it your friend now? I missed
What, the blue dragon, the blue one's my friend. The green one's friends with the evil alien dude.
Yeah, I was.
And they should be. This stage can be the most infuriating thing in the world. For one, you've always got these guys raining down from the sky onto you in a ball of fire. Two, there's like these gates that you have to get through, and like explosive missiles pop up through the ground, and you have to kick them into the into the wall to destroy it, however thick it is. The maximum is 3, but there's one where it's 3 thick, and then you have the green alien guys attacking you the whole time, which are the hardest basic enemy in the game to kill. And they deal the most damage. No. They do, and they follow where, like, if I'm above them and going towards where they'll be below me, they will go below me, but if I'm below them and just not paying attention, they might not spawn. It's just to add a cool effect of, hey, look, there's a cool, like, dynamic platform here. But... oh. They're only in this level. And even if you're going, like, max speed, they'll spawn at the rate that you go by, so there's no risk of, like, clipping into them. They're green. So this is the first time that we see, like, having to use these little missiles to break down the gates. And so far it's like not a big deal. They trick you into thinking that there's going to be a gate there. I think they can, but I don't want to find out. A weird little glitch with the springs, when you're like jumping on them and you're trying to do the cyclone for like boosted height, you still, like, if you hit it too early, you'll end up just like sticking to the spring, so you don't go anywhere. Okay. This is the mid boss for the level.
Pretty long game, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I first picked it up, I thought it was gonna be like a 30-minute casual run,
Yeah.
and then I spent 2 days playing it, and I was like, oh. I have no idea. I only found out like after the fact that it had been a Kickstarter, like someone told me, and I never bothered to like look it up. Good. Right. It's there's not many good 2D platformers coming out. Like there's good 2D games, like Spelunky has 2D and platforming, but it's not a 2D platformer. And that's just like a dying genre right now. So like for a new game to come out and use like new like game creation techniques to make like an old school feeling game is just a really cool thing. This boss is super annoying because it's based off of hits, because every time he receives like a single basic attack worth of damage, he goes invincible for a few seconds. These little spin wheel things are a bit bugged. On the way from bottom left to like side left, if you just stand still, you'll clip through the platform. For some reason, that's the only place in the rotation. They're planning on releasing a new playable character at some point. I don't know who it's gonna be. I assume Torque, but I don't have any information, so don't like quote me on that. But yeah, they're still working on it. They're not patching any of the things that are used for speedruns, as long as they're not like game breaking. Like, they're not going to patch any of the zips because those are good for speedrunning, and it's not going to pop up in casual play and mess up someone's time. So they definitely like cater to both like speedrunners and casual players with this game. So for the longest time, I was like super upset at this game. Also, I just boosted into some spikes and died. But for the longest time, I was like, God, every time I want to practice these last levels, I have to play the whole game over again. And I was like, all right, I want to see what this time attack setting's for. You can select which stage you want to play right there. And I was like, Jesus. Also, you can play Mahjong on the time attack screen. I like accidentally scrolled over and clicked A like as I was trying to start a level, and then it was like Mahjong started. I was like, oh, okay. Tile stack. Yeah. Donation. No, except it plays like classic, so there's no cutscenes, and instead of progressing to the next level, it just goes back to the time attack screen afterwards. You can go down a level to like avoid having to deal with that like line of spikes at all, but that doesn't actually save like any time. Hey, full health! It's like I haven't taken damage yet. Or something. This is by far my slowest stage in the run. Just because there's like so much space you have to cover between each boss. Like it's the longest physically as well as like in the run. After this, we go, we're getting close to going to like the final stage, but it's split into 4 parts. And those stages are like super short. They go back down to like the time of the first stage again, where it was like 4 minutes and some change. and then they get like a little bit longer. Depending on how many times I die on the boss, I can do the final boss level in 7-ish minutes. No, don't turn my switch back. Rude. Sometimes when you boost up through there, you can use the cyclone to just like float up and you'll keep your momentum a bit better. But I mistimed it completely, so I just had to like wait for my boost to come back up. Hey, it's the first mid-boss we fought. So the shield we have right now is like a gem magnet, and so we were just pulling gems towards us, and we got a 1-up. And this is the really annoying part I was talking about, where it's a really thick wall, and we have to fight 4 of these guys at the same time. So if I die there the first time through, I just go ahead and kill these guys, because it'll save me time rather than jumping over them and dying 3 times. Alright, now we can just 2, 3, yeah, like the people of planet whatever planet that this is are like, I guess Freedom Planet. They're like engaged in combat against Brevin, the big alien overlord, right now. And I managed to jump back down onto those explosives and nullify all the health I just gained.
It's such a shame that you chose the wrong side. Enjoy the last few minutes of your pathetic lives!
So, this is the guy we fought on the back of the Peacock earlier, but now he's on a bunch of eyeballs. And we have to break his shield and then hit him, and then he'll go invincible and regenerate his shield. And usually you have to wait for him to do this animation at all. Like in a casual run you would do that. But by boosting up the walls, we can sort of half the time, if we do it perfectly, that it would take. So right there I just did what would have taken a full cycle of attacks. And every eyeball that breaks off, he drops a bunch of eyeballs every time that we hit him in the face. And every time you kill one, they drop like a piece of health. So that you can just like keep going in this stage, even if you're having like a really bad boss fight. That's it, you've ruined the whole run with that joke. Greed. Yes! Okay. If that wasn't his last cycle, I probably would have just died there, because I would have gotten hit by every single one of those purple orbs that came out. But I managed to kill him first, so... Oh, plot twist! Just kidding.
I was ready for the hologram.
That is by far the longest any stage will be in this run. No, he's running away. By the way, somehow in that 30 seconds we got onto the spaceship.
Final Dreadnought, round 1.
Throughout Final Dreadnought 1 and 2, they're constantly teaching you, hey, you always want to jump into these green circles because they'll take you where you want to go. And then halfway through Final Dreadnought 3, they go, just kidding, you can't touch any of them, or you go back to the beginning. And this is where the run really slows down because you get hit every 30 seconds, more or less. Sometimes they'll slam down on you, and sometimes they won't, and I was just really hoping that guy wasn't going to be mean to me.
I do have some donations. That's a good time.
That's perfectly fine by me.
Let's see. Have a $50 donation from Patrick, who says, shout out to Mega6. Hope you're having fun in Texas and good luck on the run.
Thanks, Patrick. He lives in Florida. I know who that is. Thanks, Patrick.
We do have a $25 donation. I don't see a name on here, but it just says, love Sean Dolan, in parentheses, Mega6.
That's probably my mom.
$6 donation, no name. Thanks for being so awesome, people. Having so much fun watching AGDE. And then a $26 donation from Anonymous with no message. Thank you guys very much. Right now we are sitting at $5,780.
Nice. I was talking to Pixel before this run. I was like, I'm going to be happy if people donate $10 during my run. This part can be very annoying because as you're going through it, these airlocks, it doesn't drain oxygen, they keep opening up so that like it pushes you down at an extremely fast pace. And for the most part, you can avoid it just by like moving fast across it like that. But if you hit that spring, you always go down that one. There we go. So this is already the boss of the first Final Dreadnought round. So when you're like getting ready to kill it, it transforms into that little thing there. And the interesting thing about that is if you just stand on him, he can't hit you. So you just keep smacking him and he's like launching purple orbs at you. And it's supposed to be like his big bad ultimate form, but instead you just like kill him. 32-32. Ah, that's a good sign. But you always think that those things live in water up until this point, and now they just kind of float around on the stage to mess with you. Yeah. All of the final dreadnoughts are in the ship, which I assume is just called the dreadnought. Because it has to have a name. This stage can just be, well, this series of stages can be absolutely brutal. For the most part, they're actually pretty linear. There's like a lot of crevices that you can get into, but after that, like you basically just learn like not where you need to go, but where you need to not go. Because sometimes, like when I was first learning this run, I would spend 5 minutes running down a path, being like, "All right, I'm almost at the final boss," and then I would just be like in a corner and have to go all the way back.
You're forgetting something important about us. They don't need oxygen.
Yeah, oxygen is really important to dragons. There we go. I don't know why I like decided not to boost when I was going through there the first time. I think I was just like on low health panic mode, and I was like, oh, maybe if I just kill them all, I won't get hit. Not a good idea. The thing that sets this apart from Sonic, like it definitely has the go fast and go through loops thing to it, but there's so much more to the combat than there is in any Sonic game.
More what?
More to the combat. Like, instead of being a 2-button game, it's a 3-button game because you have the 3rd button dedicated to your attacks. You have your boost, your jump, and your attack buttons. Yes, all of them were Dr. Eggman. Yes.
See, I was playing.
So this stage is why it's important to know that the blue shield lets you breathe underwater, because you can breathe without oxygen. So as long as you're constantly picking up the blue shields that Mila drops, you'll never suffocate. But if you miss, like if you speed past one of the grates on the wall and miss one, chances are that you're going to lose your shield and suffocate before you get to the next one. Little old Mila, giving everybody health and shields. If you play this game, you will love Mila. It just happens. There's no use in trying to run between those. Especially since, like, the oxygen turns back on right at the top. But you know this boss is going to be hard because they give you 5 lives walking into it. No, they don't respawn. There's some areas where you can, like a single life will drop and you can pick up the single life again. But other than, like, most of the time lives don't respawn. That's his most annoying attack. Like the multi-way shot that he does. Because right as he gets ready to shoot it, he like shifts a little bit to try and be like, make sure you get caught in it. And the way you're supposed to deal with it is you like go way out and then the shots are spaced out. But you can keep damaging him so much if you manage to stay like on him when he's getting ready to do that. So I'm getting ready to die on this. Maybe. Yeah. There we go. That's how you're supposed to deal with that attack. It's so much more risky, but I basically just got like a whole attack cycle's worth of damage in because I managed to right then. Alright, so he's in like desperation mode right now. All of his attacks come out faster. No. Oh yeah. And that's as hard as a boss will get in this run, by far. So we've got a boss, and then the final boss left in this run. They do. I think they're based off of like who's running them. So of course, like when the prince dude has the peacock and when he has the eyeballs, it's still the same boss name. But I just don't remember their specific names. I know that they tried to give the like AIs tech-themed names, like bitrate or something like that. That's not one of the names, but it's that sort of idea. Right there was one to the left or the right that I could have jumped into. It doesn't matter which one you choose. This is the ship's desperation mode. For that jump, you have to... For this jump, you have to jump like right as you go through the gate or you'll just get knocked back down. So I'm just gonna wait for a boost here and just be safe. Oh, it's the biggest thing in this game. These guys are the most annoying enemy in the game because you get stuck in their beam and like 2 times of getting stuck in their beam and you're dead. And they have, like, as long as they're loaded in the game, you're in range. My first time through there, I tried to stop and fight everything. That jump's like really precise, and then you have that like crab thing jumping up and down on you the whole time. Alright, that was a really good time for that stage. That was like 3 minutes, and in practice that was 7 minutes to get to that point, just because I kept getting hit by all of those enemies, and we made it through pretty seamlessly this time.
Yeah, it looked like you just cut her throat.
So it's our best friend Mila. Is she upset? No, she's turning into a boss.
No way!
Well, that's rude. How do you think that makes, like, her self-esteem, Destra?
Yeah, it's not ready for you.
Yeah, and the stages are different by character. Carol and Mila have extra stages, and one entirely different stage from Lilac. And I think Mila has just like her beginning area, her beginning level is different because she doesn't like meet up with Lilac and Carol yet in the story at that point. But they haven't made the storyline for Mila. It's only for Classic, which doesn't have the story elements in it. And this boss is why. Okay. Yeah. Kind of.
Mila! Mila!
I got my son on. In the basket. Oh wow.
She's upset.
Friend killing percent.
If there was a way to skip that boss, I would, even if it took more time.
So this is the last boss?
Yeah, this is the final stage.
So quiet.
You defeated. There's just a bunch of climbing in this stage.
Yes.
It can be really annoying to like work with these timed blocks and try to like.
Are they the same every time? They get better?
Yeah, they're identical every time. It's just the timing is so like narrow on each one. It's like a couple of seconds and you have to jump on one and then the other and then be gone. Like that, I tried to jump up, but the one I'm supposed to be jumping on, like I'm supposed to be. Alright, so this is what I was talking about with the, up until this point you always are told to jump into those little, like, green portals there. But in this one, if you touch any of them, you jump back down to the bottom of the climb. Or at least the climb through, like, the area with all the portals. Oh, God. I was trying to manage my boost there because you needed another one.
What?
It picked me up through the bounce platform. God, my first time trying to speed through this was a nightmare. It was a solid 15 minutes just trying not to land in the freaking teleporters. There we go. Wait, I can't go in. What do I do? Oh, I just go in. No, I ran over a gap, though, because I was going fast enough. Or several gaps. No. Oh, I wanted the one up. This part. If you get hit by this this laser at all, it's a one-hit kill and you start over. It'll break that shield and still kill me.
Yeah, you want to do the main energy ship, I don't know.
Something like that. Something that I don't like. Bad choices. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the those guys. And they're timed so that you always barely make it through before you, like, would get shot by the... I'm gonna go back and pick up this health because we're about to enter the final boss. So right here, if I didn't have boost, I would like stay right where I spawned because that like gun won't shoot, and then I can get across without getting hit at all. But if you don't have your boost, you'll get hit at least twice. Ooh. Recognize this. I scared him real good. And this boss has like a really cool UI for his health. In the background, the left is this stage, the green, and then the right is the next stage, and then a health bar will spawn in the bottom. It is entirely intentional. I mean, fudgesicles, Batman. We're just gonna walk up here. He's 2 hits from being finished, but I'm 1. Oh, come on, yes! Okay, it was 3. And he heals you up a good bit, because he's a nice guy. Now he gets in his mech suit because he's still too scared to fight us. This stage is the most annoying of the three because all of his attacks bring him far away from you. Yeah, his is the like reddish orange thing. No, it's cyclical pretty much. The final stage is entirely cyclical. He does everything in the exact same order every single time. I was hoping I would get like caught in him. That is the only attack I don't like when he does. And he's done it most of the No! He was like one hit from being killed because that one's symmetrical from top to bottom. Yeah, it does at least save your progress. I'm just taunting him, that's all that was.
So you take a couple of boxes.
Yeah. This guy would have been harder before I knew about, like, canceling my jump. And as long as he doesn't keep doing that attack. Because usually you just want to boost through that attack so that you don't get hit and then you're, like, ready to attack right again. And if you always have to jump, you always have to use your double jump to get to his head and hit him. So if you don't know that you can cancel your double jump to get your energy back, then you're kind of like SOL. Alright. Yes, but not as much as the other guy. No!
What are you doing next?
All intentional. Alright, final stage. We have to jump right away. That attack that he just started with, if you get hit by it, like I just did, it does half of your maximum health. No matter what. You always have to run to the right for that wing attack, and that becomes a problem if you're on the left side of, on the right side of the stage, because you have to run right, and there's no more right. I'm just, ooh. There used to be a glitch in this boss fight when he would do that attack with the knife if you boosted into it so that you wouldn't take damage. 143.
What time?
Yeah, that's time. If you boosted through his like half health attack, it would get really confused and you'd be invincible for like 5 minutes.
Cool game. Now that's what Sonic should be now. Yeah. Achievement! Sonic right now.
So now we can go look at my time and see if I got a new PB. Credits, thanks everybody who made the game. Stage by stage breakdown. And then final score, 92.02. That's a new personal best by 2 minutes. All right. Thanks for letting me play.
Wow, sweet. Thank you, Nega6, for that playthrough of Freedom Planet. Up next, we have a run of Volgar the Viking from Catnip Addict, which, as some of you may know, is a game I ran in the past. We initially planned to have a race, but I ran out of time, and I'm a bad dude, so I didn't follow through. But Catnip will hopefully provide you with a sweet playthrough. Volgar the Viking, if you don't know it, is a very hardcore side-scroller that is very difficult to learn and get good at. Kind of like an old Ninja Gaiden and kind of like a 2D side-scrolling Dark Souls sort of game. But anyways, I think you guys will enjoy it. Thank you for all the donations. Let's check for any updates. We did manage to fill the slots. Fearful Ferret, unfortunately, has an ear infection. We all hope that he gets better. And we managed to fill the schedule for the runs that he was doing. So the schedule is updated if you want to check that out. We have a $25 donation. And the donation comment is simply Jimi Hendrix. Thank you, Jimi Hendrix. Tyler the Butler donates $10. Forgot to sign in last donation. Oh, that's probably Jimi Hendrix. Also, love the stream, and I'm fucking excited for the rest of the games. Y'all rock. Thank you so much, Jimi Hendrix / Tyler the Butler. I'm going to go ahead and swap over, and we're going to set up for Catnip. So stick around, and we'll have Volgar coming soon.